locked in here pretty early, despite some of the changes in the patch. A lot of people thought we're going to be pushing it kind of more out of the support role and more out of pro play. It already didn't have a super high presence in NA. Last patch, it was mostly just Olay playing it. So now getting a little bit more popularity, and this could be kind of hinting towards the fact that Cloud9 want to play more side lane. Tahm Kench is so adept at actually enabling those side lane strategies. TF would make a lot of sense alongside that. If you are going to be playing heavy split push, looking for towers, looking for 2v1s, Tahm Kench is the best support in the game, I think, to really be able to kind of assist that sort of a strategy.
Okay, and Ashe here, kind of a throwback for Sneaky, but a pick that I think has been picking up a little bit more speed. Xayah Rakan on the other side there for 100 Thieves, so Cloud9 already know what they're playing up against there.
Yeah, and I quite like the Ashe because we've been seeing this as kind of trend where a lot of people, if they are going for things like Tahm Kench, Aatrox and Akali and these sorts of champions, they do end up in a situation where they're lacking on engage, right? And this is some of the strongest engage you can get from the marksman role. So Ashe versus Sneaky, gonna give them that crystal arrow, the ability to look for picks. Also, obviously, the scouting from the Hawkshot is so big in those early levels, being able to try to track Amazing, keep eyes on what he will be doing is going to be important to keep these lanes safe. But on the other side, Bang and Afro move, the Xayah Rakan, certainly some explosive engage, strong laning 2v2. And we did see in their first win, Bang was really kind of stepping forward and playing a lot more aggressively on the Lucian, did start to look better there. So will be interesting to see if they can replicate any of that success.
Well, Ban's almost done here in phase 2. Azir as the first for 100 Thieves, and then Elise and Nico out of the way there for Cloud9. Last ban is Zilean. So keeping some of the Kindred Zilean possibilities off the table, or just taking a good utility pick away from Niski.
Yeah, very interesting. We'll see whether they are going to be actually saving their solo for last. You would expect it to be the case. J4 would make a lot of sense. Again, additional engage, something that you can look to be fairly strong in those early levels, builds well into tank, which it feels like most of the junglers are doing these days. Cinderhell Conqueror J4 is pretty powerful. You do also have the option of going more for the Electrocute Black Cleaver Warrior style of build, but that feels like it is falling off as people are looking for more of that consistent front line. And J4 is kind of a little bit of a middle road where you can have some power in your early ganks, but still act as that front line later on.
Feels positioned well here in general. Already banned Sedge and Elise. It blocks Olaf, and just a good solid pick for Blabber to take there. Is Victor going to be the lock-in there for Ryu? Certainly someone that has often stuck to his champions. So there have been a lot of roamers and control mages. But of course, one more pick now for 100 Thieves to round things out. Seems like Amazing needs a jungler. So things will tick down. Ivern is, I'll go with probably not, but we'll always wait and see. It's going to be Gragas instead.
Okay, yeah. Ivern would have surprised me a little bit. We are going to get the Gragas, which certainly does have really powerful ganking. Can also be used as a pretty good answer to Tahm Kench. A lot of people like it because when the Tahm Kench devours up a carry, you are able to throw out that ultimate and displace both the Tahm Kench and the carry. Something you have to remember, though, is on this patch, you can actually jump out of Tahm Kench's belly defensively a little bit faster. So there is a smaller window there, and we're going to get Sylas as that final pick here.
9-12 Sylas, not something I expected to see.
Yeah, Sylas really kind of fell off in pro play very hard this week as far as presence. There were some massive nerfs that actually came through, mostly targeting the wave clear. So you can expect to see Sylas having a lot more difficulty pushing out those lanes, and that is one of the biggest strengths that he had in pro previously, was that with the Q-Max, you could shove out the lanes, roam to the side lanes, group up with your jungler, look to create pressure in those ways. Niski is going to have more of a difficulty doing that. That being said, he will still be, a strong team fighter later on in the game. He's still a good skirmisher, but I do think Victor is someone that could keep you maybe pinned under your turret.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how Sylas lands out, because big nerfs coming through in this patch. See what happens though. Coaches will shake hands and we'll let the champions do the talking on the Rift, I think. But Cloud9 ever want to be creative, deciding that, you know what? We saw the Sylas nerfs and we thought they're not that bad. We'll see if they're right here up against 100 Thieves.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, it went from 100% presence in the LEC down to only a couple picks, no bans at all. So people are still letting it through. Not the most impressive of ultimates to actually steal away from the other team, but things like Victor ultimate can still be quite impactful. The Aatrox, if you can get that reset, you can look to be that kind of pseudo front line alongside the Jarvan. So certainly possibilities here for Niski. And we get to see can 100 Thieves continue their momentum.
We'll find out in just a few moments. Cloud9 still looking like one of the stronger teams here in the LCS. I'm sorry to say your cheering this time was for naught. Oh, never mind.
They seem even more excited, like, fun, yeah!
All right, so we'll let you know what's going on here as soon as we have more information, but just a respite here as teams have a chance to think a little bit more through the draft. Maybe Silas was more surprising than expected.
Yeah, certainly possible. But Zazel, he actually was the one who paused, so we're going to get that fixed up. Whatever his issue is, will be getting addressed by the refs immediately, and hopefully we'll be able to get right back into game very, very quickly here. But yeah, certainly Cloud9 looking to bounce back after their loss last week. Still, sitting up at the top of the table, looking like a strong team thus far, and wanting to ramp up into Rift Rivals next week. Teams certainly have a lot of expectations being placed on them by the North American fans. People want to see Cloud9, TSM, TL all performing their best as we do head into Rift Rivals. I mean, that's starting on Thursday. It's very, very close here.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. But before we get into any more action, we are going to throw it down to Ovely, who's got a sideline report.
Thanks, guys. Probably we saw the team pick up their first win last week. How did that affect the team coming into this one?
Yeah, there's no crying, or as much crying, I guess. But no, really, I think it was pretty healthy for us, like, to kind of find some kind of tangible success, and not just in scrims. So it did give us a good, like, kind of roadmap for how we want to play the game, what identity we want to take, and that there's some success behind what we're doing.
Team feeling confident coming into today, then?
Oh yeah, feeling good, feeling great.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you and the team. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ovely. And again, probably, I mean, it does make a difference, right? You can only say, oh, we're doing well, but we're just not executing, but it still feels good to win.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're on a 12-game loss streak, that is very, very rough for anyone's mental to withstand. Amazing about the face check here, perhaps. We'll see. I mean, this is getting pretty close to jungle spawn, so even if they got some poke, this is bad.
No. This is the start, but Licorice going to follow up. Flashes everywhere. Licorice still going to chase it down. Needs one more Q, but I think Amazing's got enough. The last Q not going to kill him. Amazing survives.
Yeah, so they do get his flash, and they will put him behind in the jungle pathing, but that is 3 flashes from Cloud9 for the 1 flash, and they don't even get the kill. So we'll have to see in the long run if that does end up being worth it, or if 100 Thieves, if their laners can punish some of these C9 members for being down a summoner. But that was a very aggressive play here from Cloud9, and now Blabber pathing straight to mid lane, level 2 Jarvan gank. He's looking for Ryu here.
Yeah, we're just going to go for it here. Ryu's still level 1, good flash, but Blabber gets a summoner and gets out.
Yeah, and there already, flash disadvantage is now gone, right? Ryu was up that summoner. I'm saying, well, can you make good on that? Nope, certainly can't. He's actually going to meet Amazing at his red buff. That gank also helped to push Ryu under his own turret, so it's harder for him to respond. Blabber could stay around if he wants and just kind of continue to be annoying. Amazing, I think this is actually really smart. So Amazing is just going to go and start on the golems. Aphromoo coming over to help him a little bit. Instead of trying to fight as level 1 Gragas into this level 2 Jarvan at your red buff, just go get some experience, then try to contest once you're up a level. Blabber starting this again, but he's spotted. So Blabber now, not going to be able to get this red buff. Amazing will have caught up quite a bit on experience. Thanks to the fact that they had this warded out, they push him back, and now the advantage with that early start largely gone from Blabber.
Yeah, see it's pretty even here, but Blabber will at least look to complete the 3 buff. Was actually going for the 4 buff with how aggressively he was onto that red, but we'll see if Amazing can get over. In fact, Blabber kind of walk back down towards the bot side, maybe checking for the scuttle as it spawns in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, he's really committing to these early ganks. He is trying to get some stuff done here. Does go down to the bottom side, and even just sweeping out that ward, very nice fracking from Cloud9's bot lane. To give that intel that the ward would be in the river, he clears that up. We'll grab Scuttle, so puts a little bit more threat onto that bot lane. They have to be nervous about any potential Jarvan gank coming through. And we'll see if Blabber is going to be able to make it happen here in the mid lane, but Amazing is around. Remember, it's only level 2 Gragas, and he's spotted now.
Yeah, Nisky, they're going to go in. Not that much health, though, to speak of. Knockup's going to land. Gravity Field down.
The Gravity Field!
Turn around. A massive double stun after the body slam, but they just have enough damage. Victor falls, and now they're going to dance around Amazing. Nisky is not going to get the last chain slam, but Blabber will get the last word.
2 for 1 for Cloud9 there. The experience making all the difference, actually, as Amazing was not level 3. Had he been, that's potentially a fight they could win, but he was still level 2. Nisky just barely gets knocked down, but buff transfer complete as Blabber will be getting those buffs refreshed and gonna be feeling really good about this start. I wonder if he decides to go damage at all from here with these early 2 kills. So here it is one more time. Amazing was spotted out on the ward. They know he is coming over here. Niski's relatively low on health, but because of the level advantage, they're still confident to actually go for this play. The chain connects straight into the knockup. Beautiful engage from Cloud9, but the gravity field, the body slam makes you think maybe 100 Thieves can turn it around. But the fact that Amazing does not have his Q, he doesn't even have the barrel to try to knock down Niski faster, meant he's not going to be able to complete that second kill.
And we didn't see one of the changes there for Silas, but it might have come up. You'll notice that when he dashed, he doesn't get the shield until you land the stun part of the chain. So he did that. They were able to win the fight from there, but very slim margins. That was won by Cloud9.
Yeah, that was definitely a very close one. And this is so nice to actually see how aggressively Blabber is playing. This is what he was kind of known for when he was playing last year for Cloud9, was this guy who was going to come up, he was going to be looking for ganks non-stop, he was going to be playing in your face, playing with reckless abandon. And Blabber, making it work thus far. Big and fade, meeting him at his second buff, gank level 2 mid lane, goes down to bot lane, re-gank mid lane, all within the first couple minutes of the game.
I mean, you can see it's level 5 to level 3 right now.
Yeah.
Between the two junglers. So Blabber is just ripping through the jungle, and at least for the first pit stop, it is double longsword warrior time for this Jarvan early on.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. Generally, when you see Conqueror, it means that they are going to go in towards Cinderhawk. That is the most common that we have seen in Pro. Largely, they will go Electrocute if they want to go Warrior. But when you get 2 early kills like this, and when you're up that far off of that start, I think building damage makes sense. Even if it's just Warrior into tank, getting an earlier Warrior completion means you have very real 1v1 potential against even the solo laners as a Jarvan. So, certainly can be a huge threat out on the map with all that bonus gold he has.
Aframu kind of roam out from the bottom lane now just to cover any additional follow-ups from Blabber.
I believe he was actually spotted by the pink ward though, and there was a danger ping to that side brush. So, getting noticed here, I believe, right by that ward, and now they are actually spotting it. So we'll be able to clear that out and figure out why their roam did not work. But Zeyzal moving up, Blabber is around. So Cloud9 looking to match the roams here from 100 Thieves, who are trying to play aggressive towards this middle lane.
Licorice and Fake Code also doing quite a lot of battle here in the top side, but Licorice up significantly on farm.
Yeah, that is a lot of CS for this early on. 60 CS. He's up 18 right now. That will close a little bit as Fake God is going to pick up this wave. Early Ocean Dragon is actually enormous. Getting that at 7 minutes almost just wins your lanes for free at a certain point. Getting all that additional mana regen as well as the health regen when you are low is really going to be very, very helpful. And it also kind of just gives junglers the ability to stay out on the map almost permanently. So definitely going to be feeling really, really good about that one, and about the fact that they have this nice early lead up on the top side. It's actually a Hex Drinker rush here from Fake God, who is feeling the pressure already in this matchup. And I think it makes some sense knowing that it is going to be Silas probably or Kali in the side lane, so MR will be effective there. But one of the things that does make that a little bit more difficult is the fact that you may also be getting attacked by a Warrior Jarvan. So there's a serious physical damage threat that could be coming to your lane in those early levels, and Hex Drinker does do nothing against that. There's no health, there's no armor on that. Whereas for Cloud9, you can itemize a little bit more easily. This Null Magic Mantle that Niski has grabbed up, that is going to be more likely anyone who's coming to his lane, the jungler or his mid laner, going to be effective against both of them.
And that's Warrior done now for Blabber, actually. So
that's crazy.
Already ready with that. And the ulti, Amazing, to be fair, has caught up at least in XP for the most part. So he now has his ulti available as well. But as far as fighting power goes, Blabber certainly in the driver's seat when it comes to these jungles helping out the lane or even just dueling each other.
Yeah, definitely the case. Got to be very, very careful of wherever this Jarvan is. But level 6 on Gragas, you have the playmaking potential. Even if he has more raw power, you're going to have the ability to make a big play, with a body slam flash, with an ultimate displacing someone in and trying to get that initial kill. And it's Blabber right back to this red buff. They don't have eyes on this. Blabber is going to be able to get this, but it's actually Amazing heading down towards the bot lane. So I'm not sure if he is intuited where the Jarvan is, or is just saying, all right, we can just give that up. But either way, Jarvan going to get the red buff and get out. Easy peasy.
Yeah, Sneaky's hawk shot actually beautiful there, spotting almost every camp except the one where Amazing was at, but enough info that Blabber felt confident to go ahead and take the buff. Afro not level 6. Arrow comes out, is going to land. Blabber looking to follow up, but don't go too aggressive. Just burn the easy cooldown and get out of there.
Yeah, that was a good little disengage there from Aframu. using the shield as well as that grand entrance to get some extra distance there, and more trading here up on the top side. Licorice maintaining this pressure.
Still have about 20 there. TK gonna go down though. 100 Thieves able to find the engage onto Zeyzal.
Yeah, that was really well done. Just complete CC chain, not even allowing him to get the gray health off. Zeyzal goes down very quickly there, and that didn't even cost them summoners. It only cost them the Gragas ultimate. You know, they didn't even need to have Afromoon blow his ultimate afterwards. So a good gank from Amazing. You know, going to be able to pick up a kill and try to close a little bit of that gap between himself and Blabber.
Feels like persistence pays off there as Niski going to go ahead and do the blue buff with Blabber. As Blabber is done taking jungle buffs for now. Sneaky though continuing to push out. Looks like Zeyzal TP'd back down based on Spellbook, but we'll watch how this one happen. I mean, Zeyzal feeling confident with the Jarvan nearby.
Yeah, and he was on a ward, so he was spotted out there. Easy engage right into the grand entrance. That was just perfectly timed. Really, really nice gank coming out and follow up from Afromoon. And no overcommitment. There's no kind of panic there that they have to drop the quickness, that they have to drop any of these other ultimates to really secure it. And well done. Going to be able to grab a kill back for themselves. Keep the game within reach. Certainly Cloud9 still looking very good, though, in these early minutes. 1,500 gold ahead, and largely thanks to Licorice, who's looking for the solo kill.
Stun lands. Licorice has the second charge of the ulti ready, but with Blabber and Niski roaming up, looks like Rift Herald's going to be the play instead. Niski does have a stolen Gragas ultimate here, but neither Licorice or Fake God have theirs, but don't think it's going to matter with Zeyzal and Sneaky also roaming over to make sure Cloud9 can get the objective.
Yeah, this is a nice move from Cloud9. 5 members coming around. They use the ult for disengage, and they will be able to secure this and just walk away now. They're going back in, though.
Blabber for the play on Amazing, who's forced to flash out of the Cataclysm. There's the ulti now, but Blabber going to flash out. They're going to pile on top. Fake God looking low. There's a great arrow from Sneaky to follow up as Niski dives straight into the backline as well. Ryu, though, zoning out the rest with his ulti as the Cloud9 divers could not find a kill. And that laser massive kills Blabber, grants Ryu the shutdown, and now the rest of 100 are on the chase.
Yeah, Afro has his flash. I'm not sure if he's going to want to go for this. They will back off, but still. Getting a shutdown there, very nice for Ryu. Cloud9 do come up with the Rift Herald though, so they will have the possibility to try to go for first turret. Now they're gonna get a kill here on Fake God.
One into stasis he goes. Zeyzal gonna roam back up. That's Amazing dead as well. Cloud9 turn it back around for the double.
Yeah, Cloud9 laying a trap there. 100 Thieves just assuming, I think, that they had gone back to base, and they are punished for that. Sneaky gonna have to flash away, as Afro did look to engage here, so they do get a summoner there, another small win. We'll see where Cloud9 is going to actually drop this Rift Herald, but Ryu getting a lot of gold in these last couple minutes, grabbing some plates here as well as that shutdown kind of has put him a little bit ahead, and he's going to have 1,200 gold going back to base, a pretty nice buy.
Yeah, I think has the perfect hex core complete if he's not close. Oh, actually going Lost Chapter instead, so actually sticking just with level 2 up. No, going T. You know what? He's deciding between a few different builds as I watch this replay again.
Yeah, here it is one more time. Blabber decides to go back in here for Amazing, but Amazing flashes out, ults him back in. Blabber not able to flash all the way over the wall, but Zeyzal saving him with a great devour. But Ryu here now coming in from the flank. They can't chase further forward into Bang, who has his ultimate available. And Ryu, the ult tick, laser on both, just roasts Blabber. Nice play there on the Victor, and then this is just a really smart little move here from Licorice. Sneaks around in the bush. They are assuming that he baits, so that is why they are looking to actually just reset this wave that is pushing towards their opponents, and instead of getting that easy reset, Licorice lays a little trap, Zeyzal ults in, they get 2 easy kills, and now pushing potentially for a first turret up here on the top side, but that turret is fairly healthy. I think it's just going to be the plates, and Fake God may be able to defend it after that.
Yeah, Licorice has a Gunblade, but with the rest of 100 roaming up to defend the Herald, that is actually just for the plates there for Cloud9. Still a worthy investment. Still ticking up pretty heavily in gold. As they look for Sneaky, good devour. They're going to have to spit him out over the wall, but it's so slow now. A great double root from Bang as Afro able to get the last hit onto Sneaky. Now Zeyzal the target. Here's Blabber ready with the ulti, but 100 still with a man advantage. Still roaming in. Afro doesn't quite find the knockup. Blabber Cataclysm's out of there to try and save himself, but Zeyzal maybe not so lucky as Ryu looking to chase him down. One last Q is enough to get it. Stolen ulti now. Niski ready with the Feather Storm, but gets knocked back by Amazing. Here he comes again. Doesn't quite land the chains for the stun follow.
Yeah, I hope we get to watch that one more time, because that was actually really well played by Bang, who was leaving the feathers out on the ground to block any sort of escape from Sneaky. And Licorice now going for it on the top side. Remember, he has that Gunblade. He is ridiculously strong.
Gunblade zap. Licorice still chasing, but Fake God relatively healthy. Still with the Hex Drinker unprocced. Will feel pretty safe. Niski trying to steal the red, does not get it, but that does mean the second Drake likely going to Cloud9.
Yeah, and that was also a case of Tahm Kench is actually Devour Spit for allies is a shorter distance now. So that is a case where, you know, on the old patch, likely you could have actually put Sneaky over the wall. On this patch, he didn't reach. It was just too short of a distance that he was able to throw him. So, you know, this is actually really well played, and that is one of the patch changes here in action. We're going to get to see this one more time. Remember, they already forced Sneaky Splash earlier, so Aphromoo going straight in. Zeyzal splits apart so he can get the Devour, but notice all the feathers being laid on the other side. He waits until Sneaky comes out. Zeyzal doesn't get the actual distance to throw him over the wall with this patch change. So then pulling the feathers through for the root and an easy kill. Really well played from the bot lane here, and Ryu able to chase forward and pick up that second kill. 100 Thieves, you know, keeping it close here against Cloud9.
Well, the crowd cheers for another pause, but I can at least update you on what Ryu eventually decided on in his last shopping trip. It does have the Hex Core already at Mark II, but it is tier, so it looks like he's going Seraphs eventually.
Yeah, it's pretty atypical to actually grab a tier this late. You know, as not an early buy is pretty interesting. Most people are just going Ludens, or you do see some things along the lines of like a Banshees against pretty AP heavy type teams. But he is going to be going more of a scaling build, and it will give him a lot of safety alongside his Q shield when he does actually stack it up. But you know, we're 15 minutes into the game, and he has 100 charges out of the 750. So it's going to be quite some time before he actually does get that Seraph's completion. To really kind of get that power spike out of it.
Well, there's Aphromoo that paused. Once we have more information, we'll let you know. But with any luck, it's not going to last too long here. It's been a pretty action-packed 15 minutes, I have to say.
Yeah, it really has. Both teams kind of going right at it, willing to play very, very aggressively, and neither side backing down just yet. Certainly those 2 kills to Licorice up on that top side with that trap he laid. Really beneficial for Cloud9 because Licorice was already winning lane. He's up 26 CS. You know, he's going to be up a little bit of experience as a result as well. Then got those 2 kills, which kind of springboarded him towards that early Gunblade completion. And once a Akali has Gunblade, you really do become a very different champion. You have so much additional threat, you know, not only in a side lane, but in these potential team fights. And he's going to be the one backed up by Zeyzal on this Tahm Kench. So he can have those extra members joining him in the side lane, looking to punish Fake God. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do that as ready checks look like they are coming through in chat. So we may be getting back in here pretty shortly.
Afro did have a visual bug, which should be fixed by a simple relog, so he has done that. And once he's all checked up and ready to go, we'll resume the game shortly. It is funny to me, though, we already mentioned Blabber again, kind of the new player in, if you will, at least this game for Cloud9, as they are looking to expand and experiment with their roster once again. I feel like we've seen both halves of Blabber this game. He's always described as a player that just goes in no matter what. They do the brain check at the start of every champ select, and I feel like Blabber fails because his teammates always tell me that he just doesn't play with the brain on. But the instincts and the aggression does pay off a lot. And we've seen that work in the early pathing. We've also seen that last engage that maybe that was a step too far.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I think he's played very well thus far, though, and you know, has been, I think, as much as people like to joke about the brain check, I think he's a smart player, and I think that, you know, he has great instincts, and it's always going to be about then tempering that aggression and being able to find, okay, where is the correct balance? What is that fight you do want to go for, and what is the one that is too risky? And making those judgments can really help to make you that extra step and really become a truly elite player, because Blabber has been very good for how little time he's been around in the LCS, and now he is looking for this trap. Could potentially go for amazing.
Aphromoo already popped the quickness. What an arrow from Sneaky there to stop that all from happening. Blabber though going to get knocked up on the other side. It's amazing. Ulti almost enough to kill him, but Zeyzal with the power may be able to save him. Fake got down. That's the reset the Aatrox ulti needs. Now Zeyzal going to get jumped on as Liquid tries to dunk on Aphromoo. Flips back and able to get that kill for the shutdown, but he can't make it back over to the Shroud. He gets knocked up. He gets killed, and 100 Thieves win the fight.
Yeah, 100 Thieves coming out on top there. 3 for 1. A big win for them as everyone comes piling in down to this bottom side, and Fake God getting the reset, getting that passive proc here on the Aatrox. Very, very big deal, and that will get him to his Black Cleaver completion. There's a great initial arrow, though, from Sneaky to actually stuff the engage on Aphromoo. Quick reactions there from him, but not enough to help them win this fight.
Yeah, Cloud9, they try and go for these dives. Again, starting off well, but 100 Thieves finish in style.
Yeah, Sneaky rejecting the initial engage very, very quickly, but the TP already coming through faster from 100 Thieves. You can see Fake God already in the fight here as Licorice does have his complete, and we are going to jump back to live. I see flash down for Ryu, so I'm going to assume that there was some sort of a scuffle over by that blue buff. Niski wearing one, not sure if that is a stolen blue or not, but either way, two teams sitting quite even in this game, only a couple hundred gold separating these two teams. Double Ocean on the side of C9, but I always kind of look at that more as an early game Dragon. It can still be powerful later, but usually its use is in starting up the Baron, then backing off and being able to regen in these kind of long siege situations and that sort of thing, and we haven't gotten ourselves in any type of situation like that just yet. The next Dragon, though, is going to be very universally powerful. That Infernal coming up in 2 minutes, I certainly think is something that both teams are going to be wanting to fight for, especially with Blabber going full damage. The Gragas is building AP as well, so both sides have 4 members who can really make use of that Infernal.
First tower gold still on the table, now off as 100 Thieves able to take down the bottom outer and claim some extra gold for themselves. In fact, that will push the gold to pretty much dead even between the two sides.
Yeah, very, very close game here. 100 Thieves making C9 work for it very, very heavily. C9 heavy favorites coming into this game, certainly. But 100 Thieves playing them even, and I think it's been a bit of a day of upsets, or at least a day of very, very close games. TL played closely by Golden Guardians. Certainly that one could have gone either way. Then Optic taking down TSM. They are tied in the standings, but an upset on paper too many. Again, here we have 100 Thieves, and it's just kind of showing us just how hotly contested the LCS has been this split. There was a 6-way tie for first coming into this week, and it's been a pretty exciting summer split as a result. It feels like anyone can beat anyone.
Might be a 6-way tie at the end of the weekend, too.
Maybe.
I guess we'll find out as gameplay continues. 50 seconds till that Infernal Drake you mentioned is up and available for the taking. Licorice also working on Cloud9's first turret, as top outer is the most vulnerable.
Yeah, you can see double QSS already completed 400 Thieves bot lane. So, Afroman wanting to have that playmaking potential, not wanting to be able to be stuffed by any potential arrows from Sneaky. But a little bit surprised to see one on Bang, because I feel like, there are enough members around him that could be actually blocking any potential arrows. The QSS mostly just useful for that arrow. Yes, there are things like, the chains coming out from Niski, but that's not super reliable. The mini stun from Macaulay and so on and so forth. But mainly it's just about that arrow. And you do have your ultimate to react to that as well. So I will say I am surprised to see that coming out from Bang. Feels pretty defensive. But from Aframu, it is going to allow him to actually go more aggressively into the team and use that QSS to get him out of any potential Ash arrow and get that ultimate through the entire C9 squad.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the QSSs, there are a general lack of cleansers here for 100 Thieves. So certainly a well-placed arrow could start the fight off right for C9 as Niski actually stolen the quickness, but zips out the attempt initiation. Now he's going back in. Arrow's there, but it is going to miss. Amazing though. Still on the front line, going to get exhausted. Blabber following in with a dunk, but Aframu able to quickness him off as Fake God dives in, but gets devoured by the Tom Kent. His ulti needs a takedown to get something done here as Licorice dives straight into the backline. Perfect execution. Able to take down 2. But still the counter kill there for Ryu as Niski will fall.
Yeah, C9 though taking full control of the area means they should grab that all-important Infernal Dragon. A big win for them going up in kills and also grabbing that Infernal. Going to be feeling very good about that. And this time that Fake God entering the fight was not nearly as impactful. Zeyzal was able to actually get a full devour on him very quickly, shut down really much potential that he had in the fight. And something worth pointing out, that's a stinger on Sneaky. So he is looking for a very interesting build.
That only builds 2 items, correct?
Yeah.
Triforce and Nash.
Yeah, so I think he's going Triforce. This is something actually, yeah, he's going Triforce for sure now. You see the page come through. This is something I did see him actually go for when he was streaming before, when it was a situation where you just want max CDR for those arrows, for the W harass, and now Licorice looking for a kill in this side lane. Likely gonna be able to chase down Ryu, but here comes Amazing.
Licorice no ulti gonna make it tricky. Here's a TP from 100 as well. It's Bang looking for Licorice, who's got no shroud. What an arrow! Almost able to hit him, but Bang grabs the shutdown as Niski throws the ulti out. Afro walks him in the front line, forced to dash away, but Niski finds the interrupt there with the stun. Here's Sneaky up with no arrow again. 100 Thieves gonna walk away.
Yeah, but a nice TP flank from Bang. Licorice definitely not expecting that. The bot laner coming in with the TP, and they are able to get the kill with a nice body slam flash from Amazing. So Sneaky going more full utility here. He's going to have a ton of CDR. He's going to be shooting out those arrows very consistently. and relying kind of more a bit on the spell weaving, volley to get the Sheen proc for that bonus damage there. And here's this earlier fight again. This is what led to Cloud9 getting that Infernal. Niski with a really nice dash on that grand entrance. Then kind of baiting the engage a little bit from Amazing as he turns back. Amazing has no flash to escape here. Blabber ults them all into the cage, flashes out. You can see Fake God on the back, not able to escape, not able to get much done. And then Licorice flying forward, picking off Aphromoo. Does result in the 2 kills, and here is this one more time. Ryu trying to kite this out, utilizing Q for the move speed as well as that shield. But here comes Amazing, the TP arriving in here from Bang, and then track Amazing. The body slam flash to actually interrupt the shuriken flip right here. Beautifully done. Gets the kill. Then as Nissi arrives, throws the Gragas ultimate, knocking Amazing back into that turret, but enough members from both sides are there, so they have to kind of back away.
God, a flash in mid there for Ryu. Do not want to get devoured by Zeyzal. So he's forced to burn the summoner to stay alive. Cloud9 continuing to apply pressure, but again, the game is close as teams are trying to crack open mid and have been very much unafraid of looking for opportunities to make picks here. Sneaky again, not ready with the arrow. Must have been used earlier in mid to potentially take down Ryu.
Yeah, likely what allowed Zeyzal to kind of close that gap to potentially get the Devour.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, you'd hope that Ryu didn't just let him walk up to him and start autoing him. But 100 Thieves grouping up here around the mid lane. They have the side lane pushing right now. You can see Licorice has actually gone over to the side to kind of answer this wave right here. So, they are now utilizing this to try to just walk up and take down this mid lane turret. And they're going to be able to get it no problem at all. Niski is making the roam to kind of group up with the rest of his team, but he has been spotted out. And 100 Thieves will maintain control around this area. They're going to send Fake God down to bottom lane to defend that tier 1 from Licorice. But Cloud9, not in such a dominant position any longer in this game. It really just is those neutral objectives that are getting them the edge. But the Triforce now coming through here for Sneaky, so he's going to be on 40% CDR. The arrow cooldown going to be only 54 seconds. So every 2 waves, you can start shooting those out. With a build like this, you want to see people aggressively fishing for those arrows. You don't want to just be kind of sitting back and playing it passively, or you're not going to be getting the most out of that CDR. And also, you also have to remember that you're going to be getting the added benefit of having a much lower hawk shot cooldown. So that's going to be pretty helpful too for additional scouting, making it even tougher for 100 Thieves to do anything like trying to sneak Baron.
Yeah, and again, there was a reset, so Cloud9 went back after 100 Thieves. Really nice map moves to give them mid-outer, but now they've taken their back, so Cloud9 back out on the mapping. Currently clearing vision around the Baron. Everyone, though, has returned to the Rift. And 100 Thieves back out, ready to apply pressure. Now it's their turn to sweep out the vision, use the gateway they've opened up in mid to get a bit more map control. As Cloud9 right now trying to split the map pretty far, anchoring the duo plus jungler into mid lane just to try and pressure mid, while Licorice and Nithgear are pushing side lane.
Yeah, I think that they definitely want to have this kind of 1-3-1 setup where you're utilizing Tahm Kench ultimate to go out to those side lanes to bring in either Blabber or Sneaky instead of potential 2v1s, 3v1s when Fake God or Ryu do answer. That is the type of play you really want to try to force. If you get side lane advantage, you can then have those side laners collapse in and look for potential plays around mid lane. You can have a Kali coming in from here, you can have Silas pushing in and coming in from here and trying to set up potential flanks and potential threat for those tier 1 turrets.
Also Ocean Drake at the ready, but Zeyzal and Sneaky will both flash instantly as Afro flashes the feathers with the quickness.
Yeah, but they're looking for a re-engage now.
On Blabber, Bang does not get out of the Cataclysm, but Faco looking to turn it back around into stasis. Blabber goes Licorice, already looking to dive in there, but PE2 has not been used. Niski in there, ready with his own Aatrox ulti, but now in his own stopwatch, gonna get knocked off. What a flash, however, to get him out of there as Afro timed it almost perfectly.
And off a fight like this, Ocean does matter quite a lot. So C9 low health bars, but double Ocean Dragon, they can actually stay around. You can see this, it's like mini Warmogs ticking in. They're actually going to go for a 3rd Ocean, so they will be able to stay out on the map pretty much indefinitely. 100 Thieves are going to be having to make sure that they finish off these kills. Otherwise, you can't even count on C9 needing to reset whatsoever. So, big skirmish back and forth. I would say 100 Thieves is coming out pretty heavily the favorite there, as they got 3 key flashes. Both bot laners, as well as Niski, do end up using their flash, and really all Cloud9 got out of it was an ultimate or 2 and the heal from Aphromoo.
Yep. Got the Drake, I suppose, as well. Now up to 4 total elemental Drakes, but still struggling to have enough map control to really effectively 1-3-1. Ryu going to make that even harder as he takes down the top outer, and 100 Thieves are the first team to take 3 towers.
And suddenly we may be seeing, part of kind of those patch changes with the reduction in wave clear, right? If you are slower to push it out, well, that looked pretty fast, to be fair. With Ludens plus Protobelt, you are able to kill at least one wave very quickly. But without Protobelt active, it may take you an additional round or 2 of spells to be able to knock down full waves, to be able to actually push this out. If you are taking a lot of time to actually push out those waves, it makes it more difficult to get control of the side lanes, to be able to make the plays on your own terms. So Cloud9 going to be fairly dependent on those side laners to really make a lot happen, or on Sneaky to make something happen with the Crystal Arrows. But we haven't been seeing him fire out too many of these. It has felt like he's had this 40 CDR for quite a long time, but not really fishing for it just yet. Is likely building towards an IE here and probably going back towards more of a type of standard build. Wouldn't be surprised to see IE into some sort of a Zeal item and kind of end up with a pretty normal Ashe build with kind of just the addition of that Triforce for the CDR.
Yeah, only an extra Triforce in there.
I mean, it's an effective item, it's just an expensive one.
That's true. Especially along with IE, it might take a while to get there. Also, Amazing is now finished. Another item after his jungle enchant. Actually does have the Zhonya's all finished up. So again, gold looking pretty even. Yes, Cloud9 have a lead, but anything under 1,000, especially at this point, really isn't much. So we'll continue to see the teams play mostly for around this Baron. Cloud9 still trying to crack one of these other lanes, either the outer turret in bot, or more importantly, the one sitting there in mid. But 100 Thieves doing a great job just defending, catching waves, and then taking their opportunities and finding their fights when they need to. In fact, Blabber, is he too far forward here? Buffer through there, TP in. Gonna lock one in, but Ryu forced to flash away. Here comes Zazel once more. Licorice instantly in the back. He's gonna try and take down Ryu. Into the shroud he goes, he gets the kill. Over the wall, he needs to go, but does get shut down.
Yeah, 2 for 1 for 100 Thieves, and they still have their jungler on the map here. They're gonna look for it.
Bang looking in, good arrow, great USS! Zazel now gonna get knocked up. He switched to spell cleanse with the spellbook, but it does not matter. Make it 3 for 100 Thieves as they're straight onto the Baron.
This is Bang, the Captain Jack QSS flashing over. He couldn't even see the Crystal Arrow as he got out of that immediately, and now FakeOn, he can just chase Blabber, who has no flash. Stay over there, FakeOn, you were doing the right thing.
Nikki again goes in, Blabber into the pit. They need to kill him ASAP. The Baron is dead. Bang able to kill him before he can get into
Sneaky.
smite range. So now Sneaky gonna get cut down as well. Make it Baron and an ace for 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves getting so much off of that, and Bang at such a strong point in the game. C9 want to make a play here towards Ryu, but they are spotted out. The initial engage pretty strong onto Ryu, but flashes out, has the Seraph's completion. Look at the shielding on Ryu. Bought him a lot of time, and then Amazing did a great job. When Licorice shows, watch this, body slam, ult, the grand entrance as well from Aphromoo. So Licorice has CC'd 100-0 as soon as he showed for a split second. Then Bang flashes in Captain Jack QSS on that Ashe arrow. And they are going to be able to take down the Baron as well. And they are marching it down mid lane. 100 Thieves hunting for their second straight win.
And against Cloud9, certainly again, a win worthy of the upset moniker as 100 Thieves crack the center of the base. This inhib will likely be forfeit as well, unless Cloud9 have some very spicy fight in them. FakeOn's going to get arrowed, forced to burn the world ender, might be enough to pressure them away as Licorice is trying to roam down and look for another flank.
Yeah, he wants to get behind him, but Bang is so
he's
strong.
So low. Zaya just playing frontline right now. That's going to be more than enough to clear out the inhib.
Yeah, and we haven't seen these Ashe arrows just be that effective thus yet. And one of the problems with it, with this type of build, is how damn expensive it is. This is the most expensive 3-item build you could really do with the IE Essence Reaver as well as that Triforce. And meanwhile, getting that rapid fire, much quicker completion for Bang. He is at a much stronger point. And Nissi is just going to use that, trying to clear out these waves. They're trying to hang on here, and Licorice wants to get behind. You can see FakeOn on the minimap looking to zone out Licorice and stop any potential flank. Just kind of posturing in between Licorice and the rest of his team.
Yeah, Niski steals a Gragas ulti again to try and disengage him off the wave, but the inhib's ready. Ulti Niski out. 100 Thieves still continuing to pressure as Licorice does tag FakeOn, but 100 Thieves have done such a good job of shutting down this Akali. Cloud9 time and time again have tried to have Licorice make the play, and he's done everything right and still got shut down.
Yeah, and I've been really impressed by how Amazing is playing around that. Niski now stealing another ult. Key to note, he's 16, so that is how he's cycling through these ultimates very quickly. He can steal them every few seconds.
Cloud9, I think, saying to themselves they want to go here before the inhib dies, but those two Baron cannons and the wave in mid lane is going to be dead. going to be, yes, it is indeed too late for Cloud9 to defend.
And now they kind of have to make their stand at that third and final inhibitor. You're just trying to buy some time for Siki to finish that IE. That will certainly be a big buy, and he's going to be very close to it. Just needs the 425 gold for that item completion. Likely even has it on his character right now, as he does. So you're kind of just buying that time, trying to scale up, looking likely for a rapid fire or perhaps even a hurricane next. But C9 up against it. 100 Thieves playing a great game here, nearly 4,000 ahead. Some of that is equalized by the fact that there is the Infernal, and these Ocean Dragons will still be helpful. But the big problem is the lack of the inhibitors now for Cloud9. There's going to be so much extra pressure from these super minions coming down through mid and bot. 100 Thieves can go up to the top side, can have Fake God ushering in these other minion waves, and really look to kind of seal the deal here with a third inhib, barring some great play from Cloud9, which would have to be a pick, it feels like, but they're just not able to find the key targets with the Ash Arrow. Now there's a Banshee's Veil on top of the 2 QSSs. Then you hit maybe a Merc Treads Fake God. Like, it's really hard to find a key target with the Ash Arrow at this point.
Yeah, you have to effectively hit frontliners at this point, which is not where you want to be going.
And both the frontliners have Stasis Veil, right? So there's just not great targets. If you could hit Amazing at 100-0 before Zhonya's, that's probably your best bet. But that doesn't even necessarily guarantee you a teamfight win when Bang is this strong. You know, Bang's on 4 completed items.
Well, 100 Thieves will continue the siege. The Baron has dropped off, but no need to stray from the plan just yet. We can see Licorice on top of a control ward, looking for the flank from that brush.
But 100 Thieves should know this. No one is answering this wave. And look at that massive wave coming in. All they need to do is sit here and wait for someone to answer. Once someone answers that big wave with double supers, now you push forward. So even though they didn't have vision on Licorice, the fact that no one's answering the wave gives you that information that he's looking for a fight. 100 Thieves able to push in here. Going to be looking for this final inhibitor turret here. Cloud9 have got to make their stand for this. They can try to wave clear and delay, but supers are coming in from mid and bot. They don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, Arrow gonna miss, and the Nexus turret starting to take damage from the minions. Licorice forced to peel off over. There is no wave in top right now, so Cloud9 have 10 seconds to try and patch this up around the Nexus before they have to try and find yet another fight.
Yeah, and Niski being pretty clever about stealing these ults and just try to use them for wave clear. They need to push out a wave, then go answer supers, then come back, and both the solos now are answering, but 100 Thieves are just going to step forward, and this turret's gone.
Nice ulti by Amazing. Just pushes Cloud9 off from defending that turret at all. Bang also TP'd back. He bought a stopwatch just to make sure this fight goes their way. Again, Cloud9, you are running out of things to defend.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a dominant position for 100 Thieves. They don't need to do anything. It's Cloud9 that is up against it. 100 Thieves just needs to wait. Anytime someone shows, you step forward. They hit the super minions, you hit the Nexus turrets. And you kind of just go this back and forth. Here they are.
Arrow again, straight to the back for Blabber, gets quickness, not gonna get charmed down, into the stopwatch he goes, Licorice again trying to find the time, he gets CC'd forever! Is Ryu able to take him down? Now Fake's found the takedown, goodbye the rest of Cloud9, and Hollow 100 Thieves picking up your second straight win. Niski fighting desperately, but 100 Thieves still alive. That's the next kill, it's only 2 left now for Cloud9. But I don't think Cloud9 can do anything but watch their Nexus crumble as 100 Thieves get a rip through the next few towers and continue their little bit of momentum. It's enough to get an upset here as they'll just dive towards the fountain, dive under the Nexus, and take their win over Cloud9.
And what a game from 100 Thieves. Back-to-back victories. Proactive play, being able to answer Cloud9, who was playing so aggressively, so well in those early stages. 100 Thieves, playing from an early deficit with that level